One of the things that a lot of people who want to be successful in any area of life, this is true in sports, this is true in business, they struggle because they don't have enough confidence. I have a dream, I have a vision, but I'm not confident I can actually do it. Like, how do I actually build confidence? And so during this video, I'm gonna share with you the 5-step process I use to grow confidence myself. And so these are the things that have helped me the most, and hopefully they'll help you as well. Before I jump into the 5 steps, I want to tell you guys a quick story. So there was a video I used to watch every single day growing up as a wrestler. It was Dan Gable talking to his wrestlers, and he said something so powerful. He said, "I will not allow a wrestler to step on the mat unless they know they're going to win before they walk out there." They step on the mat knowing they're gonna win. They step into a business knowing they're gonna be successful. Like, that's the key, is actually being confident. So the question, like, well, how do you do that, right? It's hard. Like, if I was already successful, of course I'd be confident, but if I'm not confident, like, how am I gonna be successful? So it's kind of this weird chicken and the egg. And so I wanna walk you through, again, 5 steps to help you to get the confidence you need to actually be successful. So step number 1 is understanding that the reason why most of us aren't confident is because we've lied to ourselves over and over and over again. Now, this is something I never caught until last year. I was at an event and I brought on stage one of my favorite people in this world, Myron Golden, and he dropped this one line that it shifted everything for me.
You're the only person in the world who's ever heard every lie you've ever told. And so when you think about the fact that you've heard every lie you've ever told, one of the things you have to do to develop confidence is you must become a person of your word. Most people don't trust themselves because they've broken their word to themselves so many times in the past, they can't believe a word they say. Become a person of your word.
The reason why we're not confident is because we know the lies we keep telling ourselves. We told ourselves that we wake up at 6 o'clock this morning and get out of bed. And then when we didn't, our brain's like, oh, he doesn't keep his commitments, right? And so eventually your subconscious mind's like, I don't trust this person. Just because he tells me something does not mean it's gonna happen.
You sit on a throne of lies.
And so number 1, if we want to become more confident, it starts there. It starts with we cannot be lying to ourselves. So that brings me to step number 2, which is called making and keeping commitments. Now, most people are really good at making commitments. Once again, I'm gonna commit to wake up at 6 o'clock in the morning. I'm gonna commit to start my diet tomorrow. I'm gonna commit to writing a book. We're all really, really good at making commitments. The thing that most people can't do is they can't keep commitments. Now, I had a chance, 20 years ago now, to go on a mission for my church. We used to go and we knock on people's doors. The person would open the door and we say, hey, can we share a message with you about Jesus? And they would say yes, and then we share a message, and then we give them an assignment. I'd say, I want you to read the scripture in this book. I'm gonna come back tomorrow and see what you thought about it. And the person says yes, so they make a commitment. Yes, I will do this thing. I come back the next day, and my whole goal is to see, did they actually keep the commitment? The majority of the time, 90% of the time, the person's like, oh, I forgot, oh, I got busy, oh, and they don't keep the commitment. But 10% of the time, the person does keep the commitment, said, yes, I did that. And the people who would make and keep commitments would progress through the process, okay? The same thing is true for you. The reason why you haven't been successful so far, the reason why you're not confident is because you've been making commitments but not keeping them, okay? So your brain doesn't believe you. So you have to become someone who makes and keeps commitments, okay? That means if you make commitment, I'm gonna wake up at 6 o'clock tomorrow morning, you have to keep that commitment.
I can't lie!
And if you do that over and over and over again, it's like a muscle. You get stronger and stronger and stronger to the point where your mind says, man, if Russell says he can do something, he's gonna do it. So that's how you start flexing this muscle to start building up your confidence. Step number 3 is you have to believe. Okay, there's a really good book called The Magic of Believing by Claude Bristol, which is all about like the fact that if we believe we're gonna be successful, we can be successful. But the problem is most people don't actually believe that. They hope for it, like, oh, I hope I can have that, right? But they don't believe it can actually happen. Like, oh, it happened for Russell, it happened for so-and-so, but I don't believe it can happen for me. Okay, if you don't believe you're gonna be successful, you're not gonna be it. I remember when I started my business, I looked around, I saw all these people having success online. I was like, these people, they can't be that much smarter than me. Maybe they are, but I'm as smart as the next guy. Like, I believe I can be successful. And because I believed it, I went on and I was actually successful. Same time I see so many people come to my world and like, well, Russell, you're so smart, that's why you're successful. I don't believe I can do it. And guess what? They do not, right? As soon as they have that doubt, it's hard for them to be successful. So The Magic of Believing, one of my favorite quotes is this: strange as it sounds, we usually get what we anticipate. So do you anticipate yourself failing, or do you anticipate yourself succeeding? Do you anticipate, if you believe it, the likelihood of it happening is so much higher than if you believe it's not gonna happen. Step number 4 is how you attack the situation. If you wanna be confident, you gotta act like a confident person. I remember the very first time I went to Tony Robbins' Unleash the Power Within event, he talked about physiology, like your actual physical body. He said, look, if you walk into a room and you wanna change the world, and you walk in like this, and you come over and you talk really quiet, and your shoulders are slumped, do you think you're gonna be successful? Do you think you're gonna motivate people, inspire them? Do No, he says your physiology has everything to do with like how people perceive you. He's like, you change your physiology. Like if you want to be successful, like you need to stand like how successful people stand.
If you want to change your life and you want to be more assertive, get around more assertive people and model them. Take on their posture, move. If you stand that way for 2 minutes like Superman, Wonder Woman, within 2 minutes, the testosterone in you, male or female, increases an average of 20%. And the cortisol, which is the stress hormone that stresses you out, drops 15% in 2 minutes.
Like I've never seen someone successful looks like this. You walk in like this, it changes everything. Like put your shoulder back, breathe heavier, have more like energy, have more excitement, like more facial expression. Like your physiology will dramatically affect the outcome because it dramatically affects your confidence. All right, step number 5 is you have to detach failing from being a failure. One of the things that keeps people from moving forward and being confident is they're so afraid that if I fail, that I am a failure, that they don't take the steps forward they have to take, right? They don't have confidence because like, man, if I mess up, then what happens? When I first started wrestling, I wasn't very good. So I walked out into the mat in front of everybody, everyone's watching me, and I lost. And it was embarrassing, it was like humiliating, but I came off, my dad's like, cool, let's watch your film. This is the change you make, and we went back and we tried again. So like in my wrestling career, I lost tons of times, 10, 20, 30 times I lost during my wrestling career. But because I got so used to failing, I didn't say that I'm a failure. Instead, I will go back to the drawing board, look at the film, make the adjustments, and come back and be successful. Because I did that for 8 years of my life, 10 years of my life as a wrestler, I didn't look at failing as failure, right? It was just data. Like failing is the most data-rich source of information we have. So by failing, you actually get the information you need to become more successful. With that said, that's how you can have more confidence in everything you're doing, you guys. Those 5 steps, if you start doing those today, over time it's gonna build that muscle up, and you start feeling more confident, and if you're more confident, it'll help you to be more successful. And you start pursuing a business or a job or a relationship or whatever the thing might be. The difference between someone who's doing okay and someone who's a champion, that extra 20%, having that confidence when they enter any situation. So I hope that helps. Thank you guys so much for watching, and we'll see you guys on the next video.